Hello, and welcome to Get It Off Your Chest, the funny side of breast cancer. I'm Estelle Marr, and I'm joined today in Titty Towers by Twinkle Tits, also known as
Andrea Moulding. Hi Estelle, how are you doing?
Hello, my darling. How are you? It's been a while, hasn't
It
it?
has been a while.
Been a bit of a whirlwind week.
It has been a whirlwind week, and would you like me to tell you all about it, Estelle?
Oh, do tell us, do tell us. What have you been up to this week?
Well, Estelle, I've been down in the Big Smoke, going to a rather swanky awards ceremony for the Independent Podcast Awards. And Get It Off Your Chest, the funny side of breast cancer, was up for 3 awards, as you call
Yeah,
it, the triple threat.
the triple threat
Um,
we did.
Wayne Lewis for the music, the kind of brassy,
Yeah.
lovely music at the beginning that you can strip to. Lisa Williams for the graphics, and myself and Estelle for the comedy section.
Yeah.
And we only went and knocked it out of the park and won.
Yeah,
So,
we did.
yeah, so I've only just come down off cloud 9. It's been, yeah, it was amazing. It was such fun. And I missed you, Estelle, because you never went, did you? You couldn't make it.
Unfortunately, couldn't go. Got all my dates mixed up, so I couldn't go down to that there London because I'm not sure if our USA people know where the Big Smoke is. Yeah, London town. Yeah, so
We
you
wouldn't let you in
went.
anyway because you're a northerner.
I know, yeah, they wouldn't have let me in. So you went with Wayne because he was up for an award as well, and yeah, you had a lovely day by the looks of it. You went to
Oh, I had a
Battersea, didn't
went to
you?
Battersea Power Station.
Mhm.
Wayne and I were saying when we were in London when we were young, Battersea Power Station was this kind of derelict, hideous building full of budula and dead pigeons, and now it's been had so much money thrown at it, and it's
Oh, good,
stunning.
good.
And we were invited by the Apple podcasting company. And then in the evening, we went down to King's Place in King's Cross and had a drinks, celebration and
Reception.
drinks. That's it, reception.
Yeah,
I had
she's
3
not very
glasses of
posh.
champers, darling. And then we went in the auditorium, and yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah,
But
we
Estelle,
bloody
you
won.
were, say again?
And we bloody won. Well, I was kind of there. Would you like to explain how I was kind of there?
Well, I Estelle said to me the day before, or a couple of days before, "Oh, are you going to take a cardboard cutout of me?"
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. You suggested it. You
Oh, I
said,
said that, did I?
yeah, you
I
said,
can't
I'm going to
remember.
take a cardboard cutout. And I just burst out laughing, to be honest with you. Did not think you were serious for 1 second.
Well, I wasn't serious, and then I thought, do you know what? I bloody well, I'm going to do it. Paddy's really cross because I wrecked our printer used all the coloured. First one I did was landscapes. I had to do
Yeah.
it horizontally. Anyway, I then got a pizza box out the bin, scraped off all the
Oh, God, I sound delightful.
you are, and I stuck you on it, and I carried you. It was life-size head, and I made a little handle out of a pen and wrapped loads of stuff around. I carried you across London, and you came up and got the award with me.
She
So
did.
literally, I was sitting in the auditorium with my mate Ellie, and they called out all the people that were, nominated. I just sat there going, "Oh, we're not going to win. Look at all these amazing podcasts." And then they called our name, and I just couldn't believe it. And then you go up. I went up with you with my little cardboard cutout, met the uh, met the people that were presenting it. Then you get whisked into another room, and they've done a film. So you're on film as well. I don't know what I said
On
because I was high as a kite,
the cardboard
just
cutout
grinning.
time on film.
Yes.
Well, we were in a program, and I was sent the program by Wayne. And just for you guys out there, the judges actually said that this is a really important subject which is handled with care and laughter by the excellent hosts Andrea and Estelle. It's really well balanced and feels like you're in a room with your mates having a chat over a glass of wine. It's full of raw honesty and sensitive moments that contrast brilliantly with the laugh out loud moments. A truly excellent and hilarious podcast. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so that's what the judges said. So
Yeah.
that's why we're brilliant.
Yes, and we're fighting over the trophy, aren't we, Estelle? I'm going to have it for a week, and then Estelle can have it for a week. It made me feel like it was all kind of worthwhile because it's
Yeah,
been
it
a while
has.
now.
It's yeah, we've been doing this for a couple of years, and it's so nice to be recognized. And there was some stiff competition, and we did really well to beat it all off. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, super chuffed. So other news, what's going on with you health wise?
I've had some good news. I'm finally getting my nipple tattoo.
Fabulous,
Oh
fabulous. It is
yeah,
a work of art, some of them. It's
I
quite
know.
incredible, just the detail that they put. And you just wouldn't know from one to the other. Are you getting just the tattoo, or are you getting the actual protruding nipple as well?
No, I think I'm just getting the tattoo.
Okay.
But while she's there, I might ask her to put get it off your chest as a tattoo down my sleeve.
I always said if I was going to get a nipple tattooed, I would get made in Britain tattooed around it as well, just for a bit of fun. Who else is going to say it? You know what I mean? Don't be stealing my ideas, you people out there.
Yeah, my mate used to work at the A&E in London, and this woman came in and she had "Keep off the grass" tattooed on her pubic hair.
Oh, golly. I kind of like that.
That's another podcast.
Oh,
The
yeah, yeah.
stories the stories she told me about what people came in with in A&E, but
Oh, I've heard a few stories, and
yeah, well, fact is
I've
stranger
never
than
looked
fiction.
at Barbies quite the same again, put it that way.
And what about you? Have you got any health news at all?
Well, nothing bad. I've got to have what I call a little refresh, should we say.
Mhm.
So, for the boys and girls out there, 5 years ago I had reconstruction. But now my 5-year-old boob and my nearly 53-year-old boob they look very, very different.
Mhm.
So my lovely surgeon Ram is going to basically suck some fat out of my stomach. So he's got gallons and gallons probably to mess with. And then he's going to pump all that into the new boob because that's lost a bit of volume. And he's going to move my nipple on the other boob. So they basically look the same. One's a bit
You're
more
going to have a
north than the other.
smashing pair of new knockers ready
Well,
for the world.
hopefully, yeah.
Mm. And you love your
Nobody
surgeon,
else.
don't you?
I was you, yeah. He is gorgeous.
And for our listeners out there, we do have a celebrity with us because the lovely Estelle has been in a national magazine this week, haven't you? Do
Oh,
you want to tell
huh.
us about that?
Yeah, I was in well, the other week I was in Woman's Own, and then Chat magazine, they contacted, and they made it where because start again, Estelle. My tumor was called Tracy. So they did it where I was basically writing to my tumor, saying, "Dear Tracy,
Yeah.
you did this and you did that," and then signed it off with good riddance. So, yeah, they put some appalling photographs in there, including one of me in my hospital gown, but just
Yeah,
before I
I've
went
seen.
to surgery. That was a picture that Pete said, "Oh, let's get a quick picture of you." And he took the picture, and yeah, who'd have thought at the time that would end up in a national magazine? But there you go. It's absolutely appalling, but it's got to be
You
done.
do have an excuse. Before I went into surgery, I was bawling, so I was a kind of gibbering wreck. So if anyone took a picture of me, I think you were looking quite glamorous
Oh,
actually
well, I
compared
was, yeah, I was posing with a top knot on the top of my head, but yeah. If I turned around, you'd have saw me arse, put it that way. Well, actually, you wouldn't have saw me arse because we have them big paper knickers, don't we?
Oh
What
yeah,
what is all that about? What's the point of them?
I like a good pair of paper knickers.
Well, what's the point of them? I mean,
Oh,
why can't you just wear your normal knickers or
I
not
don't know.
knickers at all?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. But when I had my surgery, I think I told you they said what type of knickers have you got on? Meaning, have you got paper or cloth? I think I said
Oh,
this before. And I said, oh, I think they're from Marks and Spencer's.
I remember them bringing me a pair, and honest to God, I couldn't get it over my ankle. It's like, what am I supposed to do with that? You know,
Yeah.
like those bags you get to poach eggs in.
Yes.
It's like a pair of that.
Oh,
So I went, no, I think I might need something bigger. And then they come back with the biggest pair they could have found. Honestly, I
yeah.
could have jumped out of an airplane with the knickers and landed, very
Yeah.
gently on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then another magazine I was in, it was Cheshire Life for the Butterfly Breast Cancer Awards that you were supposed to go to, but unfortunately you couldn't come, could you? So
No, no.
we were up for an award, which we didn't win, but to be honest with you, the girl who won it did deserve it. But
Mm,
unfortunately, yeah, the girl who won it is now passed. She's
nice.
yeah, she's now a beautiful angel, and but love to all our listeners out there who do actually know her. I won't say her name, but people will know who
Mm,
it is. So we are sending lots of love. But yeah, everybody was so glamorous, so beautiful. It is a beautiful, beautiful award show
mm,
because it is all centered on breast cancer, and it's
mm,
very uplifting, if you know what I mean. It's
mm,
not all there is no negativity about it at all. It's about celebrating still being alive,
mm.
to be quite honest with you.
It
So
sounds awesome.
it was
Oh,
lovely. So yeah, that's about it from me.
yes. Oh,
Anything from you? You been
Glamourpuss.
in any magazines? The Beano, the Dandy, Jackie, Bunty?
No, I haven't. I don't have the profile clearly that you have, Estelle. So, yeah, you have been busy, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I think you've got some news for our listeners as well, haven't you, Estelle?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't even know how to say it, but this is unfortunately my last show. It's not Andrea's last show, it's just my last show for Get It Off Your Chest for the podcast. So, yeah, sad times for me and Andrea
Mm,
today. And yeah, and I've got a big lump forming in my throat.
yeah, and I've got tears because it has been a hell of a ride, hasn't it? Really?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
It's been a riot. But yeah, as my close friends know, have lots and lots of projects going on in my life, and I've recently been made an ambassador for Prevent Breast Cancer, and it's yet to be announced, but I'm going to be an ambassador for another cancer charity. So I'm spread pretty thin, and with the podcast obviously being so well established, and yeah, we've got our listeners now, that Andrea is more than capable to keep this flying on her own. She doesn't need me.
Oh, but there is going to be a massive gap, a hole, if you will, because me and Estelle, when we started it, we just started it on a whim, really, didn't we? And we'd only just met. And through it, I think we've become incredibly good friends, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah, we
Yeah,
have.
I mean, she probably likes me more than I like her, but you know.
That's true. That's true. You know, we launched this podcast and we had physically only met each other, I think it was twice. I mean,
Yeah.
we had a few phone calls, lots of phone calls, lots of wine and lots of bouncing around of ideas. But I think physically we'd only actually met each other twice. And you know, we've done an incredible job to win the award that we did last week in London. But you know, let's not forget our debut episode, we were in the top 10% of globally, you know, of all the podcasts. And that was an achievement because, well, nobody bloody knew us, did they? So to get that.
I think we had a glass of wine. I was at my mum's house in a study, and we didn't really know what we were going to do, did we? We just talked
Just
at
didn't
each
have a
other.
clue. Yeah,
No,
didn't have a clue. We just
no.
talked about cancer, and then beautiful people came along for the ride. And there's been so many people these last couple of years, you know, that have turned into friends, or
Yeah.
people who were already friends that wanted to come on and share their story. And now, yeah, I'm going now. So I think you need to take over a minute.
Well, we have met some amazing people along the way. Sonia, the lady from Wales, the
Lady
cancer
from
tamer,
Wales.
you know,
Lady from Wales is called Holly.
Holly. My mind went completely
Just
blank then.
generally, that lady who walks around Wales. Yeah, Holly was
She
the
was,
one who was in the hospital up to her eyes and ears in shit, refusing
yeah.
everybody to wipe her ass because she knew them. Yeah.
No,
Kim
we
was
met.
Kim was another favourite when she was
Yeah,
interviewing Lamal, and she
yeah,
was saying about skidding her, what was it,
mm,
shitting herself and
yeah.
sitting interviewing him with towels wrapped around her like a
And then there
nappy.
was, and it was kicked off by Bettina, who is an artist, and she just blew me away with her hilarious kind of celebration that she had around breast cancer with loads of cakes and artwork.
Yeah,
There's some incredible women and men out there that shout about breast cancer and
yeah,
normalize it for people and take away the kind of fear and what have you. And this podcast, that's one of our aims.
mm,
And I know I've got lots of other people that want to come on the show,
yeah.
and I know we're just going to keep going. But there is going to be a massive hole, and I'll probably cry all the way through the first one that I do without you, Estelle.
You won't. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I was just sitting there thinking of all the, we've met so many incredible people, and I can't actually think of anyone who hasn't done something as well. You know what I mean? They got cancer and they've served the cancer community. And that we didn't do that on purpose, did we? When you think about it, I think nearly every guest that we've had have been that affected by cancer that they've ended up doing something to serve the cancer community, whether that's by raising awareness or giving people confidence or whatever. Do you know what I mean? There's been, writing a book. There's just been some incredible people out there. I was talking to, what's his name? Johnny Vegas, the comedian. I met him last.
Johnny Vegas.
He's so
cool.
I met him on Friday. And he is a ambassador, well, not an ambassador, a patron for my local cancer hospital, the hospital I was treated in, Clatterbridge. And, he was saying about how cancer changes people and how they can find humour in it. And I don't know if he was shocked, but I think I stunned him for a little bit, because I said, I've got to the stage now where I'm kind of glad I got cancer because of the change that it made to my life. And I don't just mean like physically, like, well, I'm really healthy now and I eat Activia yogurts and, shit like that. It's not that. It's just, it does change your whole attitude. But it gave me the podcast, it gave me a book, it's just give me a million new friends, and the best thing that came out of it was you, to be honest with you.
You got me crying now.
Because if it wasn't for cancer, me and you would never have met. I would have just published your book and gone, and that would have been it.
Yeah.
And even if you'd put the cancer book through me, I would have just said, oh, well, isn't that awful that happened to that lady, because I wouldn't have been able to relate. So and he stood there and said, I'd rather not have it. And I went, oh, I know, but I said, I think you've got to go through that mill to understand what I'm talking about. And he got it. He did get what I was talking about.
Yeah, I was talking about it the other day, actually. Like they say, it's post-traumatic stress. Well, there's a thing called post-traumatic growth. And I think, for me, cancer, has been post-traumatic growth, because I never, ever, ever would have done a comedy podcast. I never would have finished my book. I wouldn't have met you. You meet people that stretch you and make you a better person, really. So I'm like you, cancer is a gift as well as a terrible thing.
Yeah.
So if any listeners are out there, you know, and you're thinking, oh my God, forward 2 years' time, and you will look back and say, oh my God, it made me realise who my friends were, made me do stuff that I wouldn't normally do. It is.
It forces you to embrace life. And,
It really
you know,
does.
I know there are listeners out there probably thinking you two are full of shit. But I'm telling you now, you listen to all our podcasts from the word go, and you will hear probably nearly from every guest that they are glad that they went through it because of what the difference that it's made to them. And yeah, it's horrible to go through that actual cancer process, but once you're out of it and your prognosis is good, and I appreciate not everybody has got that positive prognosis that we had it, and most of our guests have had, if not all. My point being that, you know, you will get there. You will get to the other side. You will look back, and you will only see it when you reflect. I think one of the biggest things is it's definitely about people. I think all of our guests would agree that it's how you analyze yourself and how you analyze those people around you as well. And all of our guests have basically said they got rid of a lot of people out of their life.
I would say, I call it, or Paddy calls it, is you do friend housekeeping.
Yeah.
Because
I call it J-cloth moments, where you just sit there and think, you know what, I'm just going to wipe you away because you're not serving me anymore. And it's good, to be honest with you. You know, before that, I would have gone, oh no, I can't fall out with them because, you know, they might talk about me, or they might, you know, just all that bullshit. And then cancer just gives you the balls, doesn't it? Unless you've had testicular cancer, so that's not going to work. But anyway, you know what I mean, boys and girls.
Yeah.
But no, it does. It just makes you sit there and go, do you know what? You are just full of noise, you're full of shit, and you weren't there for me. So why are you even in my life? Go away, because I've beat off bigger things than you. So it does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it also kind of, like I said, you know, when you're busy, you think, you know, I'll never write a book. I want to write a book, or whatever you want to do, and then you just think, well, yeah, might as well do it. It's that kind of fuck it moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I have that. Do you know what? You've just made me realise, because the amount of people that will come up to me and go, oh, yeah, I'm going to write a book. And I'm like, well, why are you procrastinating? Just write it. And they're like, no, because I have to wait until I retire, and I have to wait for this, and I have to wait for that. And you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, just sit down, open your computer and write for 20 minutes a day. You don't need to wait till you retire. You don't need to wait for anything. Your life is happening now, you know, so just do it now.
Live in the moment.
Yeah, just do it now. And I probably only through this, literally the last minute of this conversation, realised that that's changed in me, where I've been saying to people, fuck it, just do it. What are you waiting for? Just do it.
But with the podcast, I mean, you know, obviously it's going to be a massive gap. I'm losing my, you know, my buddy that I've, you know, bantered with all the way through it.
Oh, well, it's good to know that you are still, you know, you're still forging ahead with it, and it'll still be the same, and that'll still be fabulous, you know.
But what an amazing way to go out, winning the comedy section of the Independent Podcast Awards. And I'm still reeling from it, and I keep finding myself smiling, remembering it. You know, it was a great moment. I missed you being there.
Yeah, but you know, I was there, and in spirit, I was there, you know, hanging on the edge of the phone. I'd like to give a big thank you to Wayne, who was basically texting me constantly, sent me videos and what have you, and so I'm glad you had him there. But yeah, it's a good way to go out on high. I went out on the lid of a pizza box.
You did.
Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
I didn't drop you in a gutter. You're still in my suitcase, like I'm like your major stalker.
What major stalker?
I said I've become your major stalker because you're still in my suitcase, which I haven't unpacked
okay.
yet.
Oh God, she'll be throwing darts at it by Tuesday. You watch. Why did you leave me? Why?
And I have to apologise to everyone because I had a bit of a technical meltdown with our podcast, where it uploaded about 10 of the same episodes and deleted one, and and I think that's all the beauty of being an independent podcast. You kind of shake up your audience now and again by messing everything up, so apologies if anybody got a bit confused.
Yeah, we're not sat here in a high-tech studio, to be honest
with the
with
full
you.
backing of the BBC, are we?
Yeah. When things go wrong, well, you tend to know about it because we can't really hide behind anything. So, well, we can't. We think that's part of the charm, don't we, darling?
We're very authentic.
Yeah, we've had barking dogs. We've had people go on mute. We've had people literally disappear.
Yes. People go Dalek.
We've had people come on who've been really, really pissed. We've tried to make them sound sober. What else?
And that was just Estelle.
To be honest with you, we've had people come on and they didn't actually make the cut. You've got to be good to get on this show. It's as simple as that. Not everybody makes the cut. If we don't think you're funny enough, well, you're not coming on the show. So you have been warned. If you're gonna start writing stories at Tissy Towers, your story's got to be good.
Our podcast just takes the piss, really. So,
our podcast is very different, which is why we won. Did we mention that at all?
Yeah.
Should we won the Independent Podcast Awards in London?
Not that we like to talk about it, do we, Estelle?
Right. Okay. So we've talked about past, present, and future. So I think we're kind of done. Are you going to redecorate Tissy Towers when I'm gone?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to do it in pink velour. And,
nice.
Yes.
Now she tells me
pinks.
I might stay.
Yes, I think you
So
will. And I'm sure it's not like me and Estelle are never going to speak to each other again. We're going down to Wales together, aren't we, in January or February, whenever it is.
February. Oh God, I'll probably see you before then. I would have thought.
Oh God, yeah. So but I really wish I had a big bunch of flowers to give you, and thank you for.
Well, I haven't got flowers.
No. Well, no.
Okay. Bye.
No, I'm trying to have an emotional moment here, Estelle.
Sorry.
But
I know,
no,
that's why I'm taking the piss.
I know. But this podcast with us two has just been an amazing kind of part of my life, really, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. But Estelle has been, gone from someone who's published my book to becoming one of my dearest friends. So thank you. And I'm going to start crying now, so I'm going to shut up.
Okay. Well, thank you. Love you loads. And I think everybody can hear how I feel about this final podcast.
Oh.
So let's wrap this up. How can people contact you and get on the show in the new year for season 3?
Well, the same way, through our website, tittytowers.com, through our email, stories@tittytowers.com, through Instagram, get it off your chest, through Facebook. So however you find me, please do get in touch. And I love making friends from all over the world and have made some fabulous friends, because obviously I'm ditching Estelle now, and I'm looking for new friends. So
I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank everybody that came on the show, to be honest with you. Thank you to Andrea for having the idea and trusting me to run with you with it. But the biggest thanks goes to the listeners out there for keeping up with us, for supporting us, for getting us.
Yeah.
Because we know there's an awful lot of audience that are from all over the world. You know, I think our UK audience is about 3rd on the list. Most of our listeners are in the good old USA.
Yeah.
And some of that humour could have been lost, but it seems not. It seems that you do get me and Andrea. So the listeners for us they've been the jewel in it all, haven't they?
Yeah.
So I'd just like to say thank you. And and it's goodbye from me, and stay healthy, everybody.
Yeah, and it's goodbye from me as well, but I will be back.